What's going on, lovely boys and girls? Today, not even really today, the last few days have been pretty interesting for me. Not even really the last few days, today has been pretty interesting for me. I've been halfway cleaning my computer and trying to get it to work and run a little bit better. Well, not work, but run a little bit better. Uh, I got doxxed, if you want to call it that, today. Panda Lead filed a copyright claim against me today. Project 7 was delayed today. Yep, Project 7 was delayed today. And I'm sure you know by now already if you're watching this video. I'm sure you know what happened. And I'm sure I spoiled it in the title of the video like I usually do. But yes, our friend, our buddy, Darkside Phil, delayed Project 7. And I'm going to put like a 30-minute long clip from his video at the end of my video, which is going to be pretty much him explaining why, if you don't want to give him views on it. And the simple way I could kind of explain it, if you don't want to waste 30 minutes listening to him, is fans were requesting me to play games, so he kind of blamed it on the fans in a way, but fans was requesting him to play games, so that took away time from him doing it. He didn't have enough time to do it. He don't have the resources to do it. His camera not good enough, and it's pretty much it. But he knew his camera wasn't good enough from the get-go. He knew his camera wasn't good enough when he asked for $1,250 a month to take a couple of days off. And then of course you can go the route with him saying, well, it's not really me getting $1,250 for take a day off. It's me getting $250 because it's other goals and all of that stupid shit. But it's the $1,250 goal. If it's only $250, then make it a $250 goal. Like I said, have 4 fucking Patreon accounts, then just do that. But yep, Project 7 canceled. And I'm kind of glad I waited on doing this video because he updated his Patreon like 5 or 6 days ago. And I normally do these Patreon update video thingamajiggies right after he updated his Patreon. But I was kind of busy at the time with streaming and shit. Anyway, hope I don't bore you too much. I feel really, really, really fucking bad, like sick. And I kind of got a headache, so I look worse than I normally look. But I might be able to make this work. I might be able to get my point across, maybe. And of course, I'm using my nice big lens camera for this, so I'm sure you're excited about that. Might even edit in some spooky vision if I don't feel like being bothered. If I feel like being bothered with it. Anyway, he updated his Patreon again, and he mentioned in the end of his video that he lowered all of his goals by $250 because he's not like those other assholes that use Patreon and he isn't going to pocket the money. And if you look at it, if you take it for face value, it's kind of okay. Oh man, you lowered the goals by $250. But if he still gets the same amount of money, let me see if my mouse cursor on the screen. Wait. Damn it, it's not. But if he still get the same amount of money, him lowering the goals doesn't matter because he still get the same amount of money. Just like DSP said once before, Patreon money is my money. He could lower these goals to $1. If he get $1,238 anyway, he's still gonna get $1,238. You know, it doesn't cost $500 to make a montage that get more views than anything else you put out anyway. It doesn't cost $750 a month to play a game that get more views than some new games. It doesn't cost $1,000 to play some fucking indie games that you bought off Steam. Unless a fucking game costs $1,000 that I don't know about. And his camera goal, he's never gonna get that camera. I don't know, he might get it eventually. But it doesn't seem like he's gonna get it. Because his Patreon doesn't really grow, and he was getting like $100 more than this a few days ago, and I think a couple of people dropped out, and he was getting even more than this earlier, and I think somebody had trolled him and he stopped him from being able to pledge because his shit was like $3,000 or something earlier. Somebody had a screenshot of it, I believe. I didn't bother to save it. So you just got to take my word for that one. Sorry about that. But yeah, him lowering the goals doesn't mean anything because he's still gonna, if he gets the same amount of money, he still got it. It's not like McDonald's, it's bad analogy time. It's not like McDonald's say, oh, well, for the last 10 years, we fucked up when we made Big Macs. So from now on, a Big Mac is going to be 99 cents. And then everybody buy 99-cent Big Macs. No, this isn't the 99-cent Big Mac. He's still getting the same amount of money. He's just charging less for the shit he doing, which is irrelevant if he gets the same amount of money. But let me get off of that. I don't want to talk about individual things for too long. But I need to start screen capping these so I can have them for the next month because I had to get screen caps from last month's video. But his first goal was, as I look at my computer, and I don't think I had a full adult keyboard and a full adult mouse last time I did one of these. So there you go. This is going to be the 20 seconds of me time. Got me a nice little generic Dell keyboard, nice little generic Dell mouse. So I can kind of lean back and do videos like this now. Pretty happy about that. But his $500 goal this month, which was originally $750 and he lowered it, was Best of the Classics, and which is basically a montage or a montage. Fallout is just chilling right here. So that's $750. It was $1,000. And last month it was also $1,000, and people voted on Fallout. Well, Fallout was winning in the votes, and he ended the voting early, so Fallout will win pretty much. And he played Fallout. He doing a good job playing Fallout. Not a good job as in skill in the game, but a good job as in he's playing it a decent amount of times to say it's a Patreon thing. He's playing it more than freaking Metroid. And he played Metroid for free. So he kind of treating Fallout like he treated Persona 4, if you remember him playing that for Patreon. He's still not going to finish the game. But if you want to see him continue playing Fallout, he has to get $750 of funding. It was $1,000, but he lowered it by $250. And I'm not going to waste your time by reading these descriptions because, well, nah, fuck it. During the month of July, patrons voted and selected Fallout New Vegas as the next Patron's Choice playthrough. I've been having a blast this August re-experiencing a classic game and getting refreshed for the impending release of Fallout 4 in November. In addition, to mix things up, I'm playing the game in hardcore mode with a melee build character, or melee, however the fuck you want to pronounce it. Reaching this goal will ensure that I can take time out during the busy September gaming schedule to play more Fallout New Vegas, and hopefully complete the second run playthrough by a month end, hopefully. But yeah, he got paid last month $1,000, allegedly. It depends on how you look at it. The way I look at these Patreon goals, if your top goal is $1,250, then that means you got $1,250 to do it. That doesn't mean you got $250 to do it, because the goal under that was $1,000. But it depends on how you look at it. That's the way I look at it. I'm sure other people look at it different ways. Anyway, he got $1,000 to play this game, and now he's asking for another $1,000 to continue to play it. And he lowered it to $750 after he delayed Project 7, which is very exciting. No, it's not exciting. Patron's Choice, Return of the Indie Marathon. As you already know, I'm sure, the Crash Bandicoot scandal when he said he was going to play it. Oh, I got to read this. This is good. I just thought about it. But the Crash Bandicoot scandal, when I'm going to just link the Crash Bandicoot videos. I think I did too. I'm just going to link those in the description. I'm not trying to regurgitate a bunch of information you probably already heard. But the Crash Bandicoot scandal, easy way to explain it is, he said he would play the game for 7 hours, and he never played the game for 7 hours. The stream wasn't even live for 7 hours, unless you count pre-stream and pre-stream, which is just him talking and just music playing. So the stream wasn't even live for 7 hours. It wasn't even 6 hours of gameplay for both streams. People like me and people on Twitter got on his ass about it. And because people like me and because people on Twitter got on his ass about it, he completely changed his marathon goal. And Crash Bandicoot isn't happening. He said he might do Crash Bandicoot for free free this month, and he claims no one asked for it, which is a complete lie. And he's not going to do it. He's going to play other games that'll get less views, and he's not going to play Crash Bandicoot for free. Free. I have to put quotes on it because he put ads on all the videos. Anyway, let's read this. In March and April, I held a series of indie marathons that were very different from my usual gaming content. Indie games. Patrons nominated and voted on the games they wanted to see me play. Some were popular, and they made repeat appearances such as Hotline Miami, To the Moon. No, and To the Moon. To the Moon is garbage to watch, by the way. Other games got a massive response that viewers wanted to see them continue, such as Papers, Please, also boring to watch. And admittedly, some were so weird that I hope I never play them again. He's talking about Hateful Warframe. If this goal is met, I will hold a mini marathon stream in late September, tentatively set. I had a hard time pronouncing that word, apparently. Tentatively set for September 28th. That will at least run for 7 hours. At least run for 7 hours. So, wow, I didn't want to do that. So let me get this straight. Let me get this straight. I will hold a stream that'll run for 7 hours. Holding a stream that runs for 7 hours. I feel like I said this before, last time I talked about him playing Crash Bandicoot. With that really stupid weasel word logic, I could cut OBS on right now, hit start streaming, come back in 12 hours, and say, yay, guys, 12-hour stream. It's not how that works. Holding a stream open for 7 hours doesn't mean you stream 7 hours. That's fucking... Let me shut up, because I'm about to go off on a tangent. That will run for 7 hours and cover multiple games, which the August patrons will both nominate and vote on over the course of the month. So, yeah. You give him money now, he'll get the money in the beginning of next month, and then they're going to rush to vote, and the games people rush to vote on are going to be played during the Indie Marathon. The Indie Marathon is honestly kind of dumb, because it really should just be called the Steam Game Marathon, because these are always PC games. They're not going to be console games. So it should just be called the fucking Steam Marathon, because what makes a game indie exactly? Some indie games make more money than major games just because they're made by an independent studio. I mean, I guess that could label them as being indie. Let me shut up. Please note this goal is not a guarantee that a full playthrough of any of these games will take place in the future, nor is it a concrete guarantee that a set amount of gameplay will take place on a stream. Good Lord, DSP. There were some misconceptions / blatant lies spread about previous marathons, and this information is being added to the goal description now, so there's no chance of that moving forward. Guess what, Darkside Phil? Nobody fucking lied. You said you would play Crash Bandicoot for 7 hours. The stream wasn't even live for 7 hours. That means you lied. We pointed out that you lied, and we lied apparently. And we just want to make you look bad. What? All right, just like when my best friend, God Reverend, replied to my tweet about him, and that made DSP reply to my other tweet, and he was like, "Oh, learn how to read." I'm like, "Learn how to read what, dude? Learn how to read time?" Whatever. That's another tangent. I'm not going off on a tangent. Sorry about that. Stretch goal, new 1080p professional camera. You see the goal has been lowered, which is very exciting. Oh shit, my bad. I forgot to say what the other goals were. Project 7 Rebirth was last month. So Project 7 was here, because this is the $1,250 goal. It got lower by $250. I'm not repeating that anymore. But last month, this, let me highlight it because I don't think you see my mouse cursor. Last month, this was Project 7. And I got a screen cap I took from my last video. It's blurry as hell. It's no surprise. Let me put it on the screen. No, I'm going to just edit it in. My bad. You could tell I'm kind of on the spot doing this, but sorry about that. It's no surprise that I've wanted to relaunch the very old series Project 7 for quite some time. However, due to timing limitations and the fact that I need to constantly bring in revenue to pay the bills, I've been unable to dedicate the effort needed. I think that's what it says. If this goal is reached, I will take away at least 2 streams, if not 1 or 2 full days in August, to write, record, and work on a renewal of Project 7. That was also wrong because he ended up taking each Friday off in the month. And that was also wrong because he delayed it today, so he's not going to take Fridays off anymore. Let's see here. We're on a new project 7. I'll at least have something to show for by the end of the month. Obviously, he's not going to have anything to show for by the end of the month. But, I forgot what I was about to say. Sorry about that. That's what I get for reading too fast. Let me read this camera goal, and we can get back to Project 7 for a little while. The goal has been reduced as I was able to raise some additional funds in the month of July above my highest level goal. You got the goal explanation, and to get a full 1080p camera, maybe with 60 frames or possibly 4K. Yeah, right. And that's pretty much it. And besides the Project 7 shit, you know, this will be a standard DSP Patreon week, kinda. Besides him completely changing the patron's choice. Now, as I could pretty much say in every single one of these videos, if you donate money to DSP, why are you still donating money to him? Why? You can say, well, I'm donating money because I want to support my favorite YouTuber, or I'm donating money because I don't want to see him go poor. But, and that's fair enough, I completely understand that. But at least expect more from the dude. You can't just give him money and say, well, I don't want him to go broke, so I'm going to keep giving him money. He delayed Project 7. Okay, I'm going off topic a little bit here. But it's August, and he had a Patreon since February, I think. So, February. Well, I guess I won't count him being paid in February. But, March, April, May, June, July, August. 6 months. Been getting paid 6 months. Free money for 6 months. And his first month, he got a lot. I think he got like $1,700 or some shit. I don't know. I know he got way more than $1,200, but I might be wrong. I honestly don't remember. But I'm just going to say $1,000. So that's $6,000 free dollars. $6,000 free dollars over the course of the last 6 months. And that's me. Wow, I can't even come up with my words today. But that's me rounding down. That's it. That's me rounding down. Because some months he got $1,400, some months he got $1,200. If you count it that way, it's probably $8,000 or $9,000. But rounding down to $1,000 flat dollars, you know, $1,000 a month. That's $6,000 free dollars. You mean tell me he got $6,000 free dollars and still couldn't get a fucking camera? Because Patreon is him paying his bills. It's that simple. Patreon is him paying his bills. And other people do Patreon to pay their bills too. Fair enough. But other people don't do Patreon to pay their bills and make it seem like they're not. Like he would tell you, Patreon is helping me pay the bills one day, and then 2 days later, he'll say Patreon isn't a big deal. Then the day after that, he'll say Patreon is a huge part of his business. Then a week after that, he'll say he wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for Patreon. So that's not even respecting the people that donate money to you in the first place. And second of all, I don't know what I was about to say. I'm ranting too much. But it's bullshit. It's just that simple. It's bullshit. And I'm completely lost on how somebody could be donating money to him and not see this as being bullshit. His Patreon goal might as well say $200 a month, pay the internet bill, $500 a month, pay the fucking car note, $1,000 a month, pay the rent, $1,200 a month, feed the hamsters, $2,000 a month, I do YouTube full time and don't have to count on machinima. It might as well just say that, because that's what this is. Also, you have his and I'm not gonna go off topic and talk about other people and other shit like that, because this is just about his Patreon. So I'm not gonna talk about Landa P flaming. But anyway, the dude getting $1,238. He getting $1,200 a month. That's pretty much his average amount, $1,200 a month. It's some people that don't live in houses that they can't afford and do Patreon, and they have, like, their top goal would be $1,500, and they would say do YouTube full time. Some people have Patreons and they say $2,000 a month, no ads on videos. You getting all this money for free. You still put the same ads on every single video. Every single video. You still complain about views in the pre-stream. You still stop playing games because of views and because you don't like them. You don't like almost every game you play. based on your, you based on your response to all of the games you play. You want $1,000 flat to play a game. $1,000 to play a game one day. To play 7 hours of some fucking Steam games for one day. You can find any person that do YouTube full time and aren't a fucking millionaire. You could find any person that do streaming full time or streaming part time. Give them $1,000 and say, what can you do for this $1,000? They're going to be twerking for that shit. They're going to play every game you request them to play ever. They'll probably buy a new computer and get new webcams and all kind of shit. He getting all this free money, ain't doing nothing with it. Nothing. Nothing. Not improving anything. He improved shit the first month. The first month he got his soundproofing phone and he got his new mic. Everything else, pocketed. The only way you can say he improved his content is if him getting an air conditioner is improving his content. $6,000 free dollars. He still can't play decent looking games on PC because he doesn't have the funds to buy a new PC. $6,000 free dollars. He still couldn't spend $700 or $800 of those dollars on a camera. Then you got to take into consideration his statue money. He's selling statues to his fans directly through YouTube. Send me an email if you want to buy the statue. I have a keyboard right here, you guys. I used this keyboard for the last 2 weeks. If you want to buy this keyboard, email me at darksidetev@hotmail.com. I'll sell you the keyboard for $45. But I'm low on money. Buy the keyboard from me. I'm gonna brag about how much money I made selling my keyboard. And in the next day in the pre-stream, I'm gonna say I don't have money. Pledge to my Patreon. It's not donations, it's pledges. But then, oh no, I'm not gonna lie, it's donations. One day is donations, one day is pledges. One day streaming is fan service, one day streaming helps pay the bills. One day Patreon isn't a big deal, next day it is. All over the place. All over the place. I'm sorry if I kind of went on a rant a little bit there, but wow, just wow. And he's still going to get people are still going to pledge to him. I'm sure at worst case scenario, this is going to drop by $100. Worst case scenario. And this 162 people, this shit should say 22 people by the end of the week. Because he overcharging you to do simple shit, first of all. Second of all, he pocketing all the fucking money and then act like he don't. Third of all, he put ads on all his videos anyway. He making money on YouTube still. Fourth of all, Project 7 delayed, so guess what? Wow, it says one patron for $75 a month. So 1 or 2 people dropped out since last month. Wow, that's something. But yeah, I forgot to talk about that. And I got 5 more minutes before I need to start recording on my camera again. So this is going to be great. $75. You give them $75, you get to be in Project 7 or another vlog style type series thingamajiggy. We talked about this a few times, I'm sure, in these types of videos. Guess what? Since Project 7 delayed and it's not going to even happen until next year, maybe, hopefully DSP still has a career next year, but Project 7 might not even happen at all until next year. So guess what? People that gave him $75 or more, guess what? Y'all get to be a part of his fucking Thanksgiving Day special. And y'all get to be a part of his Christmas holiday special. Aren't you excited? Isn't that what you gave him $75 for? Probably not, huh? Probably not. Yep. Oh, boy. But, bad analogy time again. And he used restaurants in one of his analogies when he was talking about Street Fighter. So there you go. Bad analogy time. Whoa. What the hell was that? All right. Sorry about that. And no, it wasn't my parole officer calling. But I did calm down a little bit since I had to stop recording and start back. But let's get to my final point. And what was bad analogy time? Bad analogy time. You pull up to McDonald's, and it's McDonald's again, I'm sure you're excited about it. You pull up to McDonald's, and they have a new combo meal. Combo meal is $5, but you have to pay ahead of time. And you give them $5, and it's like 3 burgers and 2 fucking boxes of fries and 4 drinks or some shit. So you give them the money ahead of time. They tell you come back in a week. You come back in a week to get your combo meal, and then the McDonald's people, the cashier, whatever the fuck they call, they say, well, sorry, sir, but the combo meal isn't available because we had some management issues. So instead of a combo meal, you get, instead of 3 burgers, you get 1 burger. Instead of 4 drinks, you get 2 drinks. Instead of 3 boxes of fries, you get 5 boxes of fries. Wouldn't motherfuckers complain? Yeah. The people that paid $75 for this, they should complain. If you paid him $75 5 months ago, you still should complain, because that means you still owed being in one of his vlog style series. And being in his Thanksgiving special is probably going to be shit. Well, why I'm thankful for DSP Gaming, it's going to be that. If not that, it's going to be them playing Call of Duty or something, which is what he which is what he does with fans for free, or did with fans for free. So that's worthless. Christmas special, what is that going to be? But whatever it is, it's not worth $75. Project 7 was hyped up. You know, Project 7 was hyped up for months, pretty much ever since he started this Patreon. The main point of starting this Patreon, from the fan view, was him updating his camera, getting a new camera, and him getting soundproofing, and him getting a new mic. He got the soundproofing and he got the mic. He just needed a new camera. The point of him getting a new camera was to record and edit Project 7 with good footage. So pretty much the point of his Patreon now is to get a camera and maybe do Project 7 eventually, and to do marathons and montages. That's quite literally the point of his Patreon now. But yeah, the people that paid $75 seem like they kind of got screwed. Even if they get in the Thanksgiving thing and the Christmas thing or holiday or whatever you want to call it, they still got kind of screwed. But I mean, like I said, I think he lost 1 or maybe 2 people, because I don't remember it saying 1 patron last month. So we'll see how that goes. $30 1 person, $50 is 3 people. He really needs to add more perks too. His perks are awful. 63 people paying $5 to vote. 48 people paying $1 for a text shout out. A text shout out. 23 people paying $10 a month to get a verbal shout out, which is very exciting coming from Darkside Phil. You know, he's not going to ruin your presence on the internet at all. 11 people paying $20 a month for a question to be answered. Yep. Something popular streamers, people that are more popular than DSP, do for free during streams. Alright then. And $30 is the shirt. I already talked about that, but I think that's it. And this video is going to be way longer than it actually is, because I'm going to edit in his Project 7 talk so you could hear it without giving him a view if you don't want to give him a view. But as usual, I'll put the actual link in the video description and you can watch that. And yeah, I don't know when I'm going to upload this. Maybe the day after tomorrow, maybe tomorrow. It depends on when the other video I was already trying to render ends up rendering. But it's been Tevin C. I didn't do an intro for this video. I wanted to do a cool intro like I did the last few months, but the last intro was too long and I wanted to update it. Didn't get to do that. Maybe next month. You know what? As a matter of fact, donate to me and I might take a day off to do an intro for the new Project 7, the new Patreon videos for next month. We can do it that way. Donate to my Paymetons. Anyway, it's been Tevin C, and I'll see you in the next video.
And it finally died out, and then in 2012 I rebooted it, and it was exciting, and then it died out again because the series had to be canceled. And so now fast forward to 2015 and me saying, wow, maybe this, now I do direct capture, right? So I can actually do high quality playthrough of Final Fantasy VII, which I never did before. And I'm thinking here in the summer, it's going to be pretty dead. So really, here's what I was estimating was going to happen this year. Around late June, I was thinking, typically after E3, there's nothing going on in games. So late June, what I will do is I'll have it so my second streams will be me working on Project 7. I'll be filming Final Fantasy 7, you know, sessions, like 2-hour sessions of offline gameplay, and hopefully, say late June into mid-July, late July, maybe I'll have gotten through the game and beaten the game, and then I could take August to sit down and write skits, film skits, do these skits, so that I can implement this gameplay footage that I've recorded in June and July and put it into the series, and maybe I can have a couple episodes done for the fall, release it over the fall to get hype for it, and then maybe next year when things die down again in gaming, which undoubtedly they do early in the year, then I could work on it again. As you guys know, that didn't work out at all. What ended up happening this year was this ended up being not only an incredibly busy summer for me because of new releases and other stuff going on, but what it seems to be is that there really won't be downtime anymore. There's now so much going on with gaming between re-releases and episodic releases and DLC releases and indie games, and the fact that now I have really widened my reach with the content that I make for you. It's not just I play the new overhyped games, and if there's new overhyped games, I don't do anything. No. Now I've really reached out, especially with the Patreon stuff. I do montages and I do marathons and stuff like that. My content's different. It's very different than how things used to be in 2010 and even in 2012. I'm a very different person and a different content creator now than I used to be. And even compared to last summer I remember I moved and there was downtime during the move time because there was nothing really coming out. This year didn't happen. We had Batman Arkham Knight that came out in late June because it was delayed. That carried into the whole first half of July, right? Then we had a DLC for it. Then we had little mini releases like Godzilla. And even through this month of August, which so far for the first half of August, there's been no major releases. There's still things that people want me to check out, like the Rare Replay collection, like Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. And even though I intended on having time to work on Project 7, it just haven't worked out. So now let's get to the skinny of things. And again, people get thumbs down the video. Go ahead, thumbs it down. I hope this video has 4,000 thumbs down at this point. I really don't care anymore because the bottom line is I'm an honest person and I am stressed out right now to my wit's end. I'll be honest. Last night I couldn't even sleep because I'm thinking I got to work on Project 7. I promised the viewers I'd work on Project 7, and we even have Patreon goals based off of Project 7, and I still don't have anything to fucking show for it yet. There's still a large group of people who are saying, Phil, you should be playing this DLC, and why didn't you go back to Splatoon, and why didn't you do this? You should, I wish I could clone myself. I wish I could clone myself and I could have one person who does creative things with video and another person who does gameplay footage, but that's not the case right now, all right? And quite honestly, 2 days now in a row, I wanted to work on Project 7, and I intended on working on Project 7, and it hasn't worked out. And the reason it hasn't worked out is because of various reasons. Last week, Patreon stuff happened. I had to do stuff for patrons, and I had to do the best and worst of June and July montage, which people were asking me for 2 months. Where is it? You didn't do one for June. And it ended up taking up most of the day for me to work on this project. Today, right? I had every intention. I'm going to work on Patreon stuff and then Project 7. What happens? The Street Fighter V beta, which completely failed back in July, launches out of nowhere. They turn it on today for 2 hours. So I was like, well, it's now or never because coming up soon, it's the hardcore gaming season. I'll have no chance to play this, right? There's no chance for me to go back. I have to play the beta now if I'm going to play it. So I jump in and I played it for 2 hours, and I did. I got good footage of it, and people on the stream enjoyed it, so that was great. But you see what's happening. It's like everything's kind of conspiring and saying, Phil, there's no time for Project 7. Don't do Project 7. And right now, I've got no footage recorded whatsoever of Final Fantasy 7 that I can use in the series. And I really, realistically, with the timing right now of everything going on and the things I'm trying to finish and the things that people want me to do, I'm like, I don't think I could put anything together. I don't. And here's the thing. If I do relaunch Project 7, I want it to be good. And what I mean by that is, do I want it to be amazing, high-quality level stuff like the reboot of Project 7 was with respect to pack? No. But I want it to be a quality product. If I'm going to be taking time out from doing my normal work and away from gameplay that you want to see me do, right? I want it to be worth everyone's while. I don't want to whip something together for the sake of, I promised this and I'm obligated to do this, or, people, I said I would do it, so I'm just going to do it. I'm going to whip it together and do it quick, and then it sucks. The thing that really sucks in life is when you have responsibilities like that. Like, I know, for example, they're writers, right? And they end up having these contracts with a publishing house. And because they're a popular writer, you got a 5-book deal with the publishing house. But the writer really only has 2 books that he wants to write. And he tells the publishing house that, and they're like, well, too bad. We'll publish the 2 books you want, but we also need 3 more from you. So then that writer ends up writing 2 great books and 3 shit books, because he doesn't have the time to write the other 3 books. He wants to focus only on the 2, and he was contractually obligated. Was the only reason that he did it. I don't want to become that person who becomes obligated to do something and therefore puts out shit work. When I'm going to put out something creative, or I'm going to do a project where it's going to take a lot of extra work and editing and things, I want it to be good. I don't want to just go through the motions for the sake of doing it. And don't get me wrong, it's not that I don't want to do Project 7. I just don't think that I could do Project 7 right now with the time frame that I have to work on it and put out anything quality for you, for numerous reasons. Number 1, I don't have a camera. Right now, the camera I'm using is my webcam, and it's great. This webcam is great for in here, but I can't move this webcam around my house to film things, and this webcam has no zoom whatsoever. My old camera over here, my Sony camera, I'll bring it over. This is my Sony camera. This is the camera that I used for the old Project 7. This is the camera that I used for the longest time to film all of my vlogs and stuff. This camera's on its last legs. This camera won't even film anything longer than around 10 minutes. At 10 minutes, the camera just decides, oh well, and it stops recording. It's not a battery issue. It's just the camera's old as fuck. Do you know how many years I used this camera? How many hours a day I was using it? This camera was not built for that much use. And it's dying. So I don't have a camera. I have this camera. This is a Panasonic camcorder. It's a Handycam camcorder. It's really not very good. It's blurry. The focus is terrible. The color adjustment is terrible. It says it does 1080p, but every video I've ever filmed on it in 1080p looks blurry as hell. So it's not a good camera. This is a good camera for me to very quickly do a vlog moving around the house or on a vacation. This is not a camera that I would want to use for an edited series. The videos will look like shit. And I have been trying to raise money this year to buy a better camera, and it just hasn't turned out. In fact, a couple of months, I went under the goals that I had tried to put up on on Patreon. And as you know, I've got a lot of debt from moving across the country. I don't have money to throw. I don't have $1,000 that I could take to go buy a camera and batteries and everything. I don't have the money. If this were 2-3 years ago, when I was living in Connecticut before I moved and I had all this debt, sure, then I had all this disposable income. It's a different situation now. And I just can't. I don't have the resources and the money to get equipment to make a good series that would be Project 7, okay? Number 2, time-wise, right now, if I were to work on Project 7, with even the days, I said that I would take maybe 3 to 4 days in the month of August to work on Project 7. We all know it didn't work out last week because I was working on that montage, which I had promised first. I had to go first because I had been waiting for 2 months to make the July and June montage, and I had patron responsibilities today. Today, again, Street Fighter V out of nowhere. It was maybe this might be the only opportunity for me to ever play it. Of course I'm going to do that today, out of nowhere. And I have more patron responsibilities. Tonight, instead of doing any kind of a gameplay stream tonight, I'm going to be doing patron perks, mailing out t-shirts. I got 1 or 2 private Q&A videos to do. I've got responsibilities to patrons. So, it's not working out. If I were to do Project 7, I would, in 2 more days, so I would have a week from today, which would be the 21st of August, and maybe like the last day of August, the 31st, which is a Monday. Maybe I could cram in sometime then, but do you really think realistically in 2 days, I can write, film, edit, and get something together for you? You know what I mean? With all the stress around me of people saying, Phil, play this game. Phil, you should be playing this. And it seems to me, and I'll be honest with everyone, I'm going to be honest, this is me, and I'm the only real person that can give you this information because I'm the only person who is the focal point of all the feedback that I get. It seems to me that right now, the consensus is, even though people would like to see Project 7 come back, they'd want to see it as a quality product. They don't want to see a rushed piece of crap. And it also seems to me that right now in particular, that we're at the end of the summer, with the limited time I have left before the new releases start coming out. People would rather see me focus on Fallout New Vegas, finishing Metroid Prime, doing an episodic release like Tales from the Borderlands, playing maybe a little bit more of Just Cause 2, but in addition to that, doing what I promised you I was going to do back in May and returning to Splatoon at least for one major stream so I could play the new game modes and the weapons, and I could give you a kind of follow-up review of what I think about the game 3 months later now that all that free content that they promised had been released. The DLC releases that are coming out, like there is a Batman DLC release, and a lot of people would like to see, is this DLC release even worth playing this month, or is it a piece of crap, right? There's stuff that people want to see me do that I'm not doing. And people are disappointed. Man, I can't believe Phil didn't do that because, you know, he's busy with other stuff. And I'm disappointed that people want to see me do all this stuff now. It seems to flip. Earlier this year, I swear, this is what it seemed to me. Earlier this year in January, it seemed like there was a movement. And people were like, Phil, we like the gameplay you're doing, but we want to see you do other stuff. We want to see you branch out and do better quality reviews with gameplay footage. We want to see you do more edited series, and we want to see you do more montages. And now we're in August, and if you actually look, whenever I do a montage, the views are kind of like falling off. When I started much earlier this year, the montages I was doing were getting 30,000 views, and everyone was hyped to see them. Now it's kind of like, I do one, and it's like, well, Phil did the montage, but when's that playthrough coming out? And that's what it seems to me like. Now the focus has shifted, that people prefer to see me play the games and review the games, and right now that's what people are into. So I kind of got to go with what people want to see me do, right? I'm not going to rush and try to put out a piece of crap Project 7 for you that I don't think would be up to the quality standards that I want to set just because I said that I would do it when all these circumstances have kind of happened, and almost, like I said, it's almost like the planets aligned and are telling me don't do Project 7 now. And so what I want to tell you in this video, now that I'm sure everyone has thumbed it down, right? It's like 4 million thumbs down. 4 million thumbs down. A few things. Number one, this does not mean that I am never doing Project 7. It just means that as of right now, I'm officially announcing I'm not doing it right now. It doesn't make sense, all right? I will possibly, in the future, if I do have a turnaround and I'm not in this much debt and I can get a better camera and I can work on these things a lot better, I'll work on Project 7. But I would rather put out something that's nicely produced and is a good quality thing rather than a turd, okay? And a rushed turd at that. That's number one. So Project 7 is not going to happen now, but it doesn't mean it's never going to happen. It just means not right now. Number two, what that means is that the days in August that I had said I was taking away from streaming are now rescinded. As of today, as you saw, I streamed today, so that was rescinded. Next Friday, the 21st, I'm going to be working. I'm going to be doing 1 to 2 gameplay streams, and it's going to probably be the continuation of what I'm doing, or maybe it might be a good opportunity to say that'll be the day that I return to Splatoon. And I do a big stream of Splatoon, and I do my follow-up on Splatoon, okay? So there will be no more days of August where I'm not streaming. I'm going to be streaming every day daily, whether it's continuing playthroughs or new things that I wasn't going to do. I can now do them, stuff like that. I'm doing that, okay? So I am going to rejuggle the schedule around, and I'll have more information about that for you shortly. Number 3, Patreon, because it was kind of tied to Project 7, obviously now is going to change. And I want you to understand that I am very deeply sorry that I was not able to put together a Project 7 product for you. I know that it was a goal for the month of August for me to take all this time off to work on Project 7. And I also know that for patrons who pledged a certain amount of money, it was one of your perk levels that you possibly could be a part of Project 7 or another project. Right now, I'm going to be honest with everyone. At this point, I'm taking the Project 7 thing off the table. So if you did pledge to those perk levels on Patreon, you still can be a part of a project. I've already announced this. I'm doing both a Thanksgiving and a Christmas special this year. And they're going to be different. I think Thanksgiving is going to be more gameplay oriented. Christmas is going to be more of like a holiday special like I used to do, where there may be a skit or something involved in it. And I'm going to try to get people involved in helping me with that. So you have opportunity to be a part of either of those if you did pledge to that highest perk level on a Patreon. So don't think that I'm going to renege on my commitment or anything. No. I said from the get-go it would either be Project 7 or something else. Right now, I'm just telling you officially it's not going to be Project 7 because it's not happening now. The earliest I would even consider working on Project 7 at this point would possibly be next year, okay? Now, I'm going to go one step further. I could easily say that's it and end the video. But no, I feel bad. I genuinely feel bad that Project 7 isn't happening. And so, because I had a goal on my July Patreon that was $1,250, right? That I was going to take time off this month to work on Project 7, which never happened. I never took the time off, right? But there was $250, so the goal below that was $1,000. So there was $250 there that was supposed to be to make up for the days that I wasn't going to work. Well, now I'm working on those days. So I'm not just going to pocket that money like these other people who use Patreon or Kickstarter or whatever, and then they never actually come through with their promises. No, that money is going to now be reduced from my future Patreon. So this month, the month of August, right, I have goals right now on Patreon. And right now, as of the moment you're watching this video, I want to let you know I have reduced those goal levels by $250. So you already gave me the money last month. I didn't come through with Project 7 as promised. So that goal level, that money, is being applied to August now. So the top goal level now for August is not $1,250. It's $1,000. If I can raise $1,000 on Patreon, I'm going to be doing an indie marathon, okay? So that's the way for me to come through and not... I could easily just say I'm a dick and pocket the money like some of these people fucking do, but I can't. I couldn't live with myself. I understand that I want this to be a working relationship where you guys watch my content for free and enjoy it. I get to have a living doing this. You pledge to my Patreon, you get cool perks. I have goal levels and cool events and things that I give back to you, but I also get that money for funding and constant improvement and things, right? So I am not going to just pocket that money. It goes towards now August. So all the August goals have been reduced. That money went from July and got taken away from July and placed towards the August levels, okay? So understand, I apologize. If you are very disappointed, you were dying to see Project 7 right away, I'm disappointed too. You know what? I'm going to thumbs down this video on YouTube. I'm going to personally thumbs down my own fucking video because I'm disappointed that shit didn't turn out the way that I had hoped. But that's life. And, you know, we move forward positively. So I want to say thank you to those of you who were interested. If you weren't interested in Project 7, this is certainly good news for you because it means there's going to be at least 2 full more days of content in the month of August, including Splatoon coverage and other stuff, and that I'm going to not be so stressed out and pulled apart and focused on other stuff. I'm going to be focused on the gameplay content that people have been asking for, okay? So, in summary, Project 7 is something that I think could potentially still be a successful project in the future when I have the means to do it, meaning the right equipment, the right funding, and the time. Now, unfortunately, even though I wanted it to be, is not that time, and I'm making the executive decision to not make Project 7 and produce it now because I don't want to rush out something that I don't feel would be up to the quality standards that you deserve and that I want to put out. I don't want to rush and put out a turd. I want to work on it and put out something good, but I can't do that right now, especially with the very limited amount of time that I have between now and being incredibly busy with new releases coming out in the future months. So I apologize I couldn't come through, but there will be more gameplay footage. I'm listening directly to your feedback, which is why I'm doing this. And like I said, I'm not just taking patron funds and pocketing them. Those who did have the high patron goal level hit, you can be a part of the Thanksgiving or Christmas specials, which I'll be talking about soon. And I'll be giving you information about what those specials will entail so you can decide which one you want to be a part of. If you did pledge to my Patreon in the month of July and, you know, that goal level was $250, that money's being applied to August. So I'm reducing those goals. So again, I'm not pocketing anything. It's all, you know, trying to be kosher and transparent here. I'm very saddened that I couldn't come through for you. But now that I've explained what the project is, you understand the work that it would entail to do what this is going to be. I hope you understand, and I hope that hopefully in the future it works out, and eventually I can do Project 7. So I actually feel better. I feel better now that I've made this video and I got it off my chest and I was able to publicly reveal to you. Because this is stressful. These past 2.5 months, I've been stressed the fuck out, man. Because I'm like, man, people want Project 7, or I keep saying I'm going to do Project 7, and it never works out. It never works out. And I really hope, I hope that it will work out in the future, but I want to put out something quality, okay? Sorry it didn't work out. I hope you appreciate the honesty, and now that I kind of came clean about everything that's going on, and that's that. Now we can focus daily on gameplay content again, and the stuff that you've been asking me to do, we can get to, rather than worrying about me taking time out to work on this Project 7. I know people will be upset. Thumbs down the video. Let's get the world record for thumbs down on YouTube, okay? And that's it. Thanks, everyone, and I'll see you for an awesome, hopefully, hardcore gaming season that now will be a lot less stressful because I don't have this kind of weight on my back. Thanks, everyone. Peace out. See you later.